Okay, this is Mom and Dad Talks, and today we're going to talk about finances. If you look behind me, that's my parents' house right there. And so, what I want to talk about is that they didn't start off with that. In fact, Dad, can you show them what you started off with?
Well, sure.
That was the house I grew up in. This house behind me is the house that I ended up living in for most of my life here, but grew up in. But I wanted you to look at that. And this wasn't built overnight, but more importantly, everyone, what I want to bring out here is the fact that all of this is paid for. You can put it now down. You can put it now. Yeah, thanks. And what I'm trying to help people today with is how to handle your finances so that you can have security. You're not living from paycheck to paycheck. You're not trying to keep up with the Joneses. Everything you do is going to make money for you. And one of the things that my parents, and before I turn it over to them, is they say, account for all the money you make. What does that mean? I grew up knowing that whatever I buy, I got to make an account for it. If I buy a whole bunch of clothes at the end of the year, if those clothes don't make more money for me, guess what? It's probably a bad investment, right? Even when it comes down to a car, I can buy a nice $50,000, $60,000 car, impress my friends. But at the end of the day, after about 5 or 6 years you pay for it, that car is not going to be worth a whole lot. And then people are going to look at you like that's an old car anyway. So why am I trying to impress people that'll never be impressed? And so these are just some of the things that I was taught with. And basically, whatever I buy has to make money for me. I want you to keep that in mind. I have to, and there's nothing wrong with nice clothes. I have some nice suits, but all those suits help me get a job, help me look good for church. But what I'm trying to get across today is how can you save money? And you don't have to have, let me tell you this, my parents, my dad was a teacher and my mom worked for the Secretary of State. They own this. This can happen for you. You don't have to have $1 million to own something like this. So I'm going to turn it over to my parents and then give them some advice about finances today. Okay, Mom and Dad? All right. Start off, give us some words of wisdom about finances.
Well, in finances, especially for a couple, you have to realize you can do more with $5 than you can with 5 cents. So this thing of this is your money, this is my money, it will work for a while. But then there comes a time when you realize, well, we can do much more if we combine our finances together. So like I said, you can do more with $5 than you can with 5 cents. And you have to realize who is the one that is best with finances. And I'm going to tell you right now, my wife is better with finances than I am.
What, Dad? She doesn't have a degree.
She has her MBA in business finances.
Get out of here. Dad, you mean to tell me that I don't have to have a degree to be good in finances?
No. And then I found out usually the people that are, how do you say it, financial experts that are not good with their finances. Usually I find that. So don't be impressed by these fancy degrees and these people that come by that want you to invest in this stock and that stock and financial experts. That doesn't work. Those people usually. What was the name of that guy that we had that we invested in? What was his title?
No, don't give any names out, Dad.
Okay. Well, anyhow, we found out that he was making more money than we were.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So those people that are in charge of financial advisors, that's a trap. Don't go there. Don't go there.
So can you talk about some of your principle of finances?
Sure, I can talk about a principle.
Okay.
First of all, we have to put God first in our plans, in our paychecks. That money that the Lord gives us to make, He asks only for 10% back. However, the blessings really come from going beyond the 10%, the offerings. So that's where our real blessing is. So we have to first trust him, take him at his word, because every time I got paid, I said, okay, Lord, you're going to have to show me. And he has never failed me yet. So that's the number one thing that I made a commitment of. Give that to the Lord what he requires. The next thing is, when you have a plan, you got to stick with the plan. You cannot divert from it. You can't say, okay, well, I know I should do this and I know I should do that, but I want to do this. If you have a plan, stick to the plan. The other advice I would give, whenever you get paid, after you've given the Lord his what he requires, then you say, okay, I got to put something away for a rainy day. I cannot not put anything away. I don't care if it's only $1. It's something. Mm-hmm. But you have to be consistent. I had to be consistent in whatever I did whenever I got paid. Don't divert from the plan. Stick to it. And I'm telling you, we've been married 53 years, and I'm telling you, life is good to us. We're successful in getting our house paid for 5 years after we retired, but we're retired almost 15 now. Okay. So we don't have a house note. Mm-hmm. When we needed vehicles, one at a time, his truck went down. So I said, okay, get you another truck. What did we do? Had to have a plan. I don't want to be paying 60 months for this truck. So I said, I'm going to sacrifice and double up on the payments. And we paid the truck off, in due time, in less time than we thought we were going to. When I needed a vehicle, got one. I said, I don't want 4 or 5 years on this car. I said, I got to double up for 2 years, 2.5 years to get it paid for. So to stick to your plan, you're not in debt constantly. Mm-hmm. You divert, you pay off and pay off and pay off. And then when you've got everything all paid off, then you say, okay, what we have, we give to the Lord. What Caesar wants, taxes and whatever we have, we have to give to Caesar, we do that. But boy, I'm telling you, the Lord has blessed us over and over again, just by having a plan, sticking to the plan, and not diverting and say, oh, I don't feel like doing that this time. But plan, it is sticking to the plan. That's what I would say. Have a goal and mm-hmm. stick to it.
Mm-hmm. And manage your money. Don't let your money manage you.
Explain that, Dad.
That means that if you have a goal in mind, mm-hmm. like to buy a truck or to buy a tool or whatever, mm-hmm. save up for that first. And after you save up enough money, then go out and shop and buy the tool or the truck that you want.
It's an interesting point. Oh, sorry, did that cut you off, Dad?
No.
It's an interesting point you brought up, because there's 2 points I want to bring out here. There's always a sale. Oh, yeah. If you save up your money, there's always a sale. Mm-hmm. People think because they got to have a sale, I got to get it now. No, you don't. That sale will come around someplace else, somewhere else, for something comparable or similar to it. And at the end of the day, you can get it much cheaper. But as long as you save up your money and pay for it, you will get the best deal because you have money. In fact, I will tell people that if you buy a refrigerator with cash money, they give you money back. Mm-hmm. You go to Home Depot right now, sorry for bringing them up, and pay cash for a refrigerator, they actually give you a discount. Mm-hmm. Wow, because you pay for it in cash, Mr. Hunt. Mm-hmm. But there's another thing that you guys brought out that I want to bring out is this. It's not how much money you make, it's what you do with what you make. Can you please explain that to our audience today? Yes.
When you say it's not what you make, it's what you do with what you make.
Yes.
That's in itself explains it. Because if you don't overspend what you're bringing in, then you can manage your money good. But when you see something and you buy it and it's above your means, that's when you get into trouble.
So how do you know when it's above your means?
Oh, when I have to say, oh, well, I want that, but I can't really afford it, but I want it. So giving into your desires, and you can't afford it, then, that's like, okay, Del, we want to buy a big yacht. And knowing we are not yacht people who have that yacht kind of money. So stay within your boundaries of what you really can't afford.
So
You
let me
might,
ask,
be able, you might be able to only afford a rowboat.
But stay within your means.
okay, what do you mean by stay within your means? Can you help me up? Explain a little bit more about what does it mean to stay within your means? Because Dad, you're a car guy, but you didn't buy all the cars you wanted. There had to be a discipline factor. How do you stay within your means?
In other words, when I go out shopping for a car, I am not going out to shop for a Porsche or a Mercedes or a Lexus, because I know I might be able to buy it, but I can't afford to keep it.
Okay.
In other words, the maintenance of it. That when it goes in the shop, it's going to cost me $200 and $300 every time I pop in there. Whereas if I have a Ford or a Chevy or a Dodge, anybody can fix that.
So you
I
mean
shop around for the cheapest shop I can find. But when I have a Mercedes, there's only one person that can work on that Mercedes, and that's a Mercedes dealership. And every time I pop in there, that's going to be $500.
So you're looking at maintenance. You're looking at the cost of maintaining, not only having something or having a house, maintaining that house, maintaining those bills for the long haul. Include that in it, and then look at your income that you're making to see, okay, after you pay for God's tithe and offering, can you really afford this? And then what do you have left over? A lot of people don't calculate that far. They calculate it to be dangerous. Ooh, I can get this. And then they get themselves into a mess and they're asking for handouts.
Their wants overpower their pocketbook, and it will do that if you don't keep things in perspective. Go ahead.
And remember, after 2 or 3 months, that Mercedes will look the same as a Ford. When those payments hit you, you might as well be driving a Ford.
Oh, I mean, that's a great analogy, and I hope people understand it. If not, you can kind of comment and we can expound upon it on the next Mom and Dad Talks on that. Yes.
Another thought: when we get paid, it's always good to have a savings account for each of us. I don't believe in having a double. I don't believe in having a joint savings account. We have a joint checking account, but we can have our own savings account, because he may want something that I may not think that he needs or I need. So you can, we both put the same amount of saving and money in the savings when we get paid. This amount's going into yours. This is the same amount's going into mine. But he can spend up his if he wants to.
Okay. So
and one thing I want to add to this. One thing I like to work with wood, and I discovered the very hard way long years ago. When you buy cheap tools, those tools will break. When you buy expensive tools, they will last forever. So save up your money and buy the expensive tool first, so you don't have to buy 4 or 5 cheap tools.
Oh, nice. Good. Get the dollar. Yes, Mom.
There should be another account for your house too. For there's a savings account for him, a savings account for me, and then there's a savings account for this house. So you have 3 savings accounts. So if we need a new roof, we got the money to put on a new roof, because we've been putting money into that house, to keep up with the house, to
maintenance bill.
Yeah. So, you just have to have a plan and just stick with it. And then, your troubles will not see, your troubles will cease.
And contractors will give you a better price if you tell them how much I'm going to pay for this in cash. Because then they know that money is coming quick. If you put on a card, that's going to be slow money. And they're going to jack it up.
Oh.
So cash talks.
We did not talk about credit cards.
Oh, credit cards.
Let's talk about credit cards. And by the way, for everybody, credit cards is what's called an unsecured loan. Usually when you get a loan, you have to have collateral for it. Like, for instance, if I got a collateral for this house, they'll give me a home mortgage loan. Why? Because my house is collateral or my car's collateral, right? But when you use a credit card, it's called an unsecured loan for those people that are out there. What does that mean? They'll double and probably triple the amount of your payments every time you swipe that card. That means if you pay the minimum, it'll take you 20 years to pay that minimum amount for you.
That's right.
Too many people get unsecured loans. Now, please continue on about credit cards now.
I got in trouble with a credit card right after we got married. I had a MasterCard. Man, I was using that MasterCard everywhere I went. And before I looked, now back there 50 some years ago, $1,100 on a credit card. Oh, it was a lot of money. And it dawned on me that I would never get this credit card down if I continue to use it and I only pay them in all amount. So I took out a loan to pay the credit card off, and I said from there on, I will only, if I use my credit card, when the bill comes out, I will pay that off. Do not use your credit card and keep adding on, and never paying it off. So the key here is that I use is whatever we charge, when that payment comes out, be able to pay it off and not let the credit card company get the interest, take your money for interest, because the interest is high on credit cards. And when I saw that advertisement, you probably have seen it with a man that if your credit card debt is $10,000, I can, it makes me tremble when I think there are people that actually have credit cards in that amount of money. So my thing is, whatever you use your credit, and there's nothing wrong with it. I love credit cards. I have credit cards this thick and back there in my box.
We don't use them.
But I don't, if I'm going to use it, I use it. And when the bill comes out, I pay it. So I'm good.
Okay. And another advice I have, become friends with your banker. Because when we first got married, we were living in South Bend, Indiana. Can I say that?
Yes, you did. You can.
And we charged up from Bears this furniture. Well, when we realized that this was, we were paying more in interest than we were for the furniture, we shopped around for a bank to loan us the money. Well, they didn't know us, and they wouldn't loan us the money. So I went to my home in Cassopolis, talked to the banker who knew me, no problem. No problem. Become friends with that banker.
There's a lesson for everybody here, right? He has a lot of friends, must show himself friendly. So don't be taking off people everywhere and telling people off. We'll talk about that next on Mom and Dad Talks there on this particular point here. We got like a few more minutes and stuff here. And in fact, I think we might talk a little bit more like maybe next time about finances, because I think this is good because there's more financial wisdom you can give people besides this little session we have here. As you know, before we get off here, the famed Little Richard passed away this week. And Mom and Dad, Mom, can you tell that story how you met Little? Can you show that picture of Little Richard, by the way, Mom?
I'll put it away.
Oh, she put it away.
I can get it out.
She'll be right back.
No, how I knew him.
How you got the chance to meet Little Richard?
Okay, how I got a chance to meet him, because he's 12 years older than me, but he did go to Oakwood College.
With I believe your mother. Your mother says yes, she did.
No, he went in 50. He went in 50.
Right.
He went in 1958. Oakwood, okay. But I got to meet him personally because my sister and I sing together. And in 1978, we went out to California for a vacation. And Philip Willis, who was at the seminary at the time, here's another one. He was helping Elder Rainey in a tent effort out there. And so we decided to go visit the tent effort. And Philip Willis, knowing us and being affiliated with the Niles Philadelphia Church, he asked us if we would sing that night at the tent. And Little Richard, of course, was there singing also. So after the meeting was over, he got with us, and we got a photo taken with him. So that's how I got a chance to meet him personally.
Yes, the famed Little Richard. And, the world lost another good one here. But I will tell everybody this, is that make a difference wherever your sphere is. And, Mom, thank you for talking about finances. I think we'll talk a little bit more next week, just a little bit more about finances, because there's some more wisdom that they can share there, just a little bit more. And then we'll have some more fun stuff to talk about moving forward there. But I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching Mom and Dad Talks. Thank you for supporting. Blantons, thank you all for coming and joining us there. Brother and Sister Blanton.
Okay.
Sister Blanton, we don't see you, but that's okay. I know you're there.
I'm here. I try to get over it. No.
So they can see you.
Okay, Todd, I am here.
Oprah may want to meet you if she chooses.
Yeah. But anyway, though, I just want to thank everybody for coming out and watching it, and I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a lesson today. Thank you, Mom and Dad.